Hey there, I'm Shawn Collins, co-CEO of Affiliate Summit, and today I have a little history lesson from where it all began. So I've got here one of the original bags from Affiliate Summit 2003. This is before we had an East and a West because it was the first one ever. So I guess it was theoretically Affiliate Summit East 2003, but being the first one, we didn't really differentiate. We didn't know we were going West at some point. But the way this all happened was that we decided, we got together in the spring of 2003, Missy Ward and I, and we talked about doing a cruise the following year to compete with a conference affiliate force that used to exist there. And but then as time went by, we felt like that's still a year away. We should probably do something to get the brand out there and to start building things to sort of set the stage for that cruise. And so at the time I was working in New York City. I was working pretty close to Baruch College, where we ended up having the first event. And I went there and chatted with them about having an event there that was based on marketing, and they just happened to be willing to give us the venue for completely free on the condition that we earmarked, I think it was 10 or so spots for students in their marketing program there. So we didn't have a nickel to scratch together, 2 nickels to scratch together, so we got very lucky and got free AV, got a free venue, got the whole thing. All we had to pay for was the coffee and lunch and things. So we got to start kicking off the company without really having any kind of investment at all, which made it very, very helpful because we didn't have any money to invest in. But anyway, as a little time capsule here, because this is, wow, 16 years ago, this bag here, so see if you can read it here. It's got the details on it. I guess it comes out backwards on the camera though. But it says Affiliate Summit 2003. Back then our little slogan was managing future markets through performance-based revenue. And so November 3, 2003, New York City, and it's got our same URL on there, affiliatesummit.com. But let's see what we got in here, this little magic bag. So some just little flyers and things. At the time I was the affiliate manager for a company Club Mom, so we had a little Club Mom magazine there to show people what that was all about. What else is in here? So who is this? Net Exponent. So Net Exponent, a little discount there. So discount off of iTunes. Not bad. $10 gift certificate at iTunes. What if it still works? Got a whole folder from Direct Response Technologies. They had Direct Track and My Coupons and a whole bunch of things back then. Yeah, and Keyword Max, Direct Leads, Direct Clicks, Direct Newsletters. Yeah, so had that back then. That was pretty cool. Sidor Desktop Media. Just a flyer here with just a coupon. $1,000 towards your first campaign with Sidor Network. So we had that in the bag there. Lots of flyers. What is this here? CPA offers. And this is some design and word looking stuff here. Some old clip art and whatnot. You can get $50 cash bonus from them. And this is some primitive stuff. It's pretty entertaining to see this. Lots of fonts. Wow. iProspect. We had Frederick Marchini, who's I think he was slated to speak there, but he couldn't at the last second, so then he ended up speaking at a later affiliate summit. This is his company though, iProspect. Another thing from Net Exponent, a bunch of details and about what they do, affiliate marketing management, media partnerships, that sort of thing. Press release in there. Very cool. What's this press release? It's about some people, online advertising pioneers, Ed Dintrone and Peter Maluso joined Net Exponent. Very nice. Media Whiz. That's cool. So a folder from them. Another one from Direct Response. I guess we double stuffed that. And speaking of that, we got a hotel room that was close to Baruch College, and so we manually stuffed all these bags. And we did it a couple more times for the cruise and then for our first Vegas Affiliate Summit, and we realized that it ended up being a massive undertaking, so we started outsourcing that after the first time we were in Vegas in 2005. This time we only had about 200 people, and it was a whole lot. This little like tightly wrapped share sell shirt, they did these for many years with their old logo on it, and I wanted to keep this in the wrapping. I've had a bunch of these over the years. You'd have to wash them like 5 times to get all the wrinkles out because they're so tightly compact there, but I always enjoyed getting those. DVD, the new face of affiliate programs from Declan Dunn. So I don't even know if I have a DVD player anymore. I guess I could play it on my Xbox maybe. Very cool though. Internet Marketing University. Here's a postcard from AFSTAT. It was the stat site, the stat report that I created many years ago, and we were doing it for a whole bunch of years at the Affiliate Summit after I stopped doing it solo. So this is for you can get the 2004 AFSTAT report at afstat.com. Huh. Maybe we should revive that. That was pretty cool, that thing. A business card for me from Affiliate Summit. And I was ridiculous enough to have my actual street address on there. It's many houses ago, so it doesn't really matter. I'm not even sure if I can focus on here. But back when we started Affiliate Summit, I lived at a town called Summit, New Jersey. And so that was my street address, but if you go there now, you're not gonna find me because I'm in Texas. Opt-in real big. Got a little card paper thing here. 25-cent CPMs from Scott Richter. Very cool. What else? I've got some little, this is like a little USB light from ROY's. You plug it in and I guess, I'm not sure what occasion I really need that for. Maybe if I was on a plane or something, I want to have some light and don't want to disturb people having the overhead on. So got that. This is from Direct Response Technologies. Looks like it might be something that you could use in Colorado these days. I'm not really sure what the real purpose of this thing is. It's got the alligator clip though. E-bound, this little disc. I guess I can try to run in my Xbox, but I guess I need some kind of insert. I don't know how I would even play this thing because it's so small. I have no idea. I think that one's going to be a little bit antiquated for what I have here. What's this little book here? CPA Empire, a little Pocket Pal from 2004. That's pretty funny having a little book for a little date book for all your things and everything. Because I guess I forget if I would have had a BlackBerry by this time, but it was years before the iPhone came out, and so I guess people did it the old-fashioned way with a little book there. For some reason I've got a little memory card. That must have just fell in that bag at some point. And finally, we've got the program that I laid out in Microsoft Word. You can see how fancy it is. And it's we had a little letter from us to all the attendees. The agenda was all black and white, very low tech. It wasn't for years later, I guess several years later, we graduated to having FeedFront also as the conference program. But well, it's really neat to see the list of all the companies that were there, because so many of these folks are still around these days. Let me see if I can find the speakers real quick. This is very compelling. I know. I forget what the speakers are in here, but yeah, here we go. So Stephanie Agresta, she was running the speed networking back then, and she's still around. Let me see, Declan Dunn, you still see him at Affiliate Summit. Peter Figueredo. Let me see, some of these folks have sort of faded away. Chris Park at Blair.com at the time and for many years. Wayne Porter, rest in peace, he was there. Scott Richter, still we see him regularly at Affiliate Summit. Let's see, Missy Ward, obviously. That's it for the speakers, and a whole bunch of attendees still come around too. So, so that's cool. And so that's it. So this is the original bag here, the thing that kicked everything off. And our first ticket there, I think we charged either 75 or $100, and we quickly sold it out. We had a capacity for about 200 people and had to give away 10 for the folks at the school. And so that very first one there was our first sellout, and we had people there waiting outside hoping they can get in, and we just couldn't let them because of capacity. But that's how it all got started. That's it. And so now, after all these years, 16 years later, we'll be back in New York City this summer on August 9th to the 11th, and at the gigantic Marriott Marquis on multiple floors instead of one little room. So it's pretty wild to see the growth here. And following that, we'll be back in Singapore in October, and then Vegas, January next spring, and Amsterdam. A lot of stuff coming up, and look forward to seeing you there. All right, have a great day. Bye.